Put this fucking shit away, nigga. Let's go. We ain't here. He's not doing this shit for no reason. He's giving us some fucking time. That's right. It's his son. Let's put this shit away. E4T. Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom. Here comes the boom.
Back. Welcome back to another installment, SRL Sitdown live one-on-one sit-downs, but we do have a group. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves in just a second, but thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys liked the last episode featuring my boy Keanu. But now we got a different vibe going on. I got some esteemed gentlemen here today. I'm gonna start with you guys introduce yourselves and why you're here today.
My name's Righteous.
My name is Mel. From Brooklyn, Williamsburg, Brooklyn to be exact. And I'm the co-commissioner of the E4T basketball tournament, and this is my right-hand man, so I have on my staff with me.
All right, so E4T Memorial Classic. We were speaking before off camera that it's a park in Williamsburg. Can you, I believe the project is called Cooper Projects, am I correct?
Cooper Park Houses, yeah.
Cooper Park Houses. So tell me, first question I got is just describe the tournament and, how did it come about?
The tournament came about in 2019 when my cousin actually, Tauren, he passed away. Mm-hmm. And it was just so tragic losing him the way that we did. He passed away on the basketball court, literally playing basketball. So wow. It was just a tragic thing. So what I did, I talked to my cousin Jermaine, and I also talked to Righteous, and we worked together to figure out how we could put the tournament together and honor his legacy each and every year.
So how did you, just to feed off of what he just said, how did you, just reactions to the idea that he had, and of course the tragic thing that happened? What was your perspective in all of that?
Well, starting with the latter, man, it was a tragedy. Like, my boy, like I'm 33, my boy thing was 36 at the time, 35, I believe, so unexpected. Like it kind of devastated like our little basketball community because it was like the first day back, us being outside, and it was like just caught us off guard. And I got to give Mel Hill like a lot of credit because he turned a negative into a great positive, and he just came up with this idea, to just like honor him and like just put this tournament together. And I told him, whatever you need from me, bro, like we could do this. Anything to honor Tauren, we could do it.
I love that. Definitely having guys in your circle. Well, you said 2019, so it's about to be 3 years now, that the 3-year anniversary. What's the hardest part about putting together a basketball tournament? Because, I know you had your eyes on Dykeman and all these West 4th and all these other places that you might have heard of. And, like, what went behind you saying, okay, I'm going to do this, but what were the challenges? Like, what were those hard spots that you went through trying to make this a thing?
The challenges were, I would say, just trying to organize everything and like trying to figure out what do you need and how much work actually goes into like putting out a basketball tournament. You have to get permits, sound equipment. You have to get the right people around you to do the scores. So it takes a lot of work.
So what was like I've looked at the Instagram. The park does look nice. Black backboards for guys that want to see how red rims, all that. Double rim or single rim?
Double rim.
So guys don't like the double rim, but I'm gonna just talk about it, like the process. You guys are in year 3. I want to focus on the process because at the time before this was just an idea, and you guys have just off of the Instagram E4T Memorial, that I was seeing the lives and what you guys are trying to start, the uniforms, and it looks like a very much camaraderie that you guys have. Like, who do you guys look for in terms of the process? Like, okay, I need somebody for this. I need somebody for this. I need somebody that can handle this while I'm doing this, because everybody has jobs and everything. So just talk about, like, how do you find that inner circle to go through the process with?
Well, I think we've been kind of blessed, if you don't mind me. Like, I think we kind of blessed with the people we have on our staff. Like, a lot of selfless individuals that, like, don't mind giving their time, like, not looking for credit when they're doing this, really just trying to just make the best tournament possible. We got a lot of people that help us out, family included, a lot of close friends. Like it's kind of a tight knit that that we put together that like really help us pull this off. Because I think we overachieved in the last 2 tournaments that we had, like just what we've been doing, and very optimistic about what we got going forward. If you want to add anything, man.
Like the process has actually been year by year. We've actually seen steady growth, and I think that going into this year, we've gotten everything that we needed. I feel like we've got the right team of people, the right supporting cast. The community is really coming out more, and they're really behind it now, and they're looking forward to it. So we got a lot of support and help.
I want to touch on the community. I know you said the community has come around it, but of course, when certain people, especially people that look like us, when we hear an idea, sometimes, especially from your man, sometimes, you don't really want to get behind it because you don't know how successful it's going to be, stuff like that. It's not our fault. We just want to get into something that works. How do you guys, what's the response from the community in the sense of, okay, we're going to come here, you guys play games on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, correct?
Yeah.
So how did the word spread about? Like, okay, these guys having this, every weekend you guys got to come show out, and it's all love. Keep that all street beef out of here. Like, how do you control that?
I could actually tell you a funny story about that. Like, after Tauren had passed away, I was really contemplating about actually speaking to somebody about starting a tournament because I was actually scared. So I just went to my close friend Jermaine Evans. I went to him and I was like, I want to start a tournament, but I don't know who to talk to or how to go about it. He was like, you talking to me now, I know how to get in touch with the refs. You just take care of getting the players and everything else, and we go from there. And it was that, seeing him do that was just like a very positive opening step for me to take that next step and take that initiative to want to spread the word and get it out there.
If I could piggyback off that, I think the guys that has joined has made it very easy. We can't take all the credit because Tauren was loved. Like our brother, he was a selfless individual. He was always about support, and I think that went a long way. That when we went and we asked a lot of these teams to come, it was I don't even think we had to ask twice. A lot of them just volunteered, and just their time, and you could tell that they genuinely love what we're doing. And when they come out, it's not if they could fit in their schedule, they're there. A lot of the teams, most of them, they've been in the last 2 tournaments and gonna be in the third. Most likely, and it has been nothing but just genuine love for what we're doing and in honor of our friend. So it's really, we can't take all the credit, you know what I'm saying? Tauren already put laid the foundation for us to just do what we're doing now, honestly.
So let's take a moment to talk about Tauren. What kind of basketball player was he? What was the kind of guy he was on the court? What made people gravitate towards him?
Tauren was a bully, man. He was a bully, man. Especially for me, because I had to guard him, especially growing up through my teenage years, he was a bully. But overall, he was very talented. He could shoot the hell out the ball.
Definitely. Just to give you a little history of our projects and what we got going on, there's 2 sides of the projects called the front and the back. He played on the front, and Melson, that's where he lives at, and I stay on the back. And me, as a competitor, Tauren, just if anybody you wanted to go against out there, he was top of the list. Tauren over the years inspired me to go harder. We both lefties, so I always looked to him as someone,
Lefties stick together for sure. I know that.
Yeah, so even on him being on the opposite side, and the most beautiful thing about it was it's always love at the end. We battle between the lines, and after those games, man, it's we on our Cooper Day, every houses have a day like that. So on our day, basketball runs that day. I think the whole day is surrounded by that, and then afterwards it's just a big party between the 2 sides. And one thing we keep it is love. We battle between them lines, and Tauren was one of the biggest competitors I know. But one thing I give him, sportsmanship and love. No matter if he won or lost, he was the same guy. And
At the end of the day, we playing a beautiful game.
Yeah, man. Oh man, I miss if anyone competing against, he's that's the thing that hurts the most, not being able to compete against him. You know what I'm saying? That's is where because we hung out. He's really my friend, but competing against him, man, that's the thing that probably hurts the most. So trust that he was a big competitor, and not many like him.
Definitely. First and foremost, I do want to say my condolences to you. You guys.
Thank you, man.
Because of course, losing a loved one is always tough, no matter what it is. It's just you see a bond between brothers, and I want to highlight on that bond between brothers because sometimes when we get in between some lines for competition, sometimes there's beef that strains from the streets, and sometimes it's beef created by the competition. And what I want to focus on is how has that aspect of the game impacted your park, like street beefs, players coming in having already pent up animosity, just things that happen in the hood, to keep it frank.
Yeah, definitely. In our tournament, we had a little bit of animosity. I feel like last year we had this amazing player. His name is TJ, by the way. He came in and he just took the tournament by storm, caught everybody off guard. So when the playoffs came, everybody had them touted as the favorites to win and to go to the conference finals, even a championship. So a guy by the name of Wade, he had his team come in. They were the 4th seed. They came in and knocked TJ and them out in the 2nd round, and it just was like a big upset to everybody. Like nobody seen that coming, and then
I could imagine.
Yeah.
I could speak to it more. There's another big storyline between there. Bushwick, we're not too far from there. They put a team in our tournament, and we're home team Cooper, and that's like the biggest one, man. And talking about the stuff off the court, man, like our projects didn't have a good history, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it was cool that the basketball, it's like the Olympics, sometimes countries war, but like out here on the court, like we kind of put that to the side and make it about the sport. And one thing I could say has been a lot of respect and love gained between the two sides. Like, between the last 2 tournaments, we've lost to them. Bushwick, most hated, shout out to them. But,
Shout outs to the guys.
These are, these are genuine guys that, we've ruled like a love for. I didn't know them personally before we started playing against them, but like by now, man, like a lot of them, I have their numbers personally, like, and these are good dudes, man. And like sometimes you got to battle between the lines to like, appreciate who they are off the court, and I'll be honest, I appreciate what the tournament has done on that level, like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like, sometimes you be nervous about things like that, but, like, sometimes you just got to put your best foot forward and think, wish for the best. Like, we're honoring our friend at the end of the day, and everybody knew him. And Tauren was kind of like the guy that could go to all these places and not, it was like he was Switzerland, you know what I'm saying, for real. But he kind of made us and all us involved, like, one rule we really have is, like, 0 tolerance on, like, anything besides basketball. You know what I mean? It could be as disrespectful as you want when it comes to basketball, but outside of that, man, like it has to be love, man, because that's what we standing on. That's what he stood
That's
for.
what some people miss in the streets. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's kind of interesting how you put it that way. Some guys don't have that mindset.
Yeah, man.
But let's talk about the both of you. I'll give you guys a chance to start. Mel, I'm gonna start with you. Like, what's your background story? How did you get to where you are today, sitting here, being one of the founders of a park? For your mans, and of course putting it like some people don't provide for their community. This is a community thing, believe it or not. People are looking at it. You've come to me and I've decided to look at it, and it's definitely something that needs to be talked about. So what is your upbringing and how did you get here?
My upbringing, I was born in Harlem, and then I moved to Brooklyn when I was 3. So I've been around basketball since the age of 6. Like, that's when my brother first put basketball in front of me. And from that point on, man, I just had a love for basketball, and I always had a love for just, like, trying to, like, compete and try to, like, make people be better at what they can do. So as I got older, I would always see, like, in my neighborhood, we never really had a basketball tournament. And I used to always hate that. Like, why I always got to travel over here to go play, or why I got to go all the way up here to go play in the tournament, why people can't come to my hood and play. So as I got older, I started thinking about ways of, like, trying to build a tournament and try to, like, give something to the youth to look forward to when they get older, when they get my age, because, like I said, when I was young, I didn't have a tournament in my hood. So I just want to provide an outlet for them through sports so they can have, stay off the streets and stay out of trouble.
Talk to me, Righteous. How did you get here? What is your story?
Oh, man, bro, I'm a little older. I'm Brooklyn born 1988, man. I'm from Cooper Projects, man. Proud Cooper veteran, man. Same thing, man. Like, basketball was given to me early. It was a good outlet for me. I kind of I'm a late bloomer. I like to say, like, my my talents and my gifts got better as I got older. I didn't really take it too serious young, distracted by a lot of things, But I could say basketball has been a great, like, if anything, just an outlet just to, like, free your mind and just get away from, your everyday dramas, like. And for me, I love Cooper. I love representing where I'm from. I feel like my projects is a very underrated place for a lot of ball players. I've seen some of the best talented people in my projects, man, that, like, probably don't get the shine they're supposed to. But this tournament has done a lot for us that we can showcase their talents. And, like, I think, more than anything, I'm just proud that I'm a part of that, And yeah, man, that's for the most part what it is. How I just got to this point was just really just becoming more of a community guy, like my man Mel, like, and this if this is my way of giving back, it doesn't, I think when you do community service, it should come from the heart, and you shouldn't have to, like, it shouldn't feel like work, what I'm saying? It should be something you enjoy doing.
Or something you fulfilling to get out of something.
Yeah, man, and this tournament has really done that. This really has done that.
So let's talk about the tournament some more. How much, like, what are your plans, right? You're about to start your third year, correct?
Correct.
Can you give some of the people, some tidbits? What's to be expected for this third season? Something that they should look out for that's different from last year, right? Because every year is about progression. So is there something different that you're bringing to the table, format-wise, gift-wise? Like, what's coming for
We have a lot
E4T?
in store, man. Like,
Could you give me a tidbit? You don't
we
got to
could
give me all
you
the
a tidbit.
sauce.
We could give you.
we don't want to give you all. We don't want to give you all.
We're
know,
just gonna
the
tell you
sauce,
the
man.
name. We got the Cooper FanDuel starting up. We're gonna have it starting up in May. We doing the money lines, over unders, player performance, and we doing the point spreads and
for the players, for the league.
yeah, for the players. For
And
the
this
league.
isn't just a gambling thing. This is really for, like, awareness, trying to donate and bring money in that, like, we could use for good use. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to give kids book bags by the time they're going back to school, like supplies they may need. And just give us a better way of just supporting our tournament. You know what I'm saying? And, like, if we could find a fun way of doing it, like, it's what we're doing. Gambling has taken over. It became a new norm. It's become a new norm. So, we just want to be
Online
ahead of
gambling.
the curve. And I feel like we're doing something that I think these other tournaments are going to try to do, man. Like, I honestly think this is going to set us apart from a lot of them. And I think if we do it right, correctly, I think we're going to start something that a lot of these big tournaments are going to try to take our idea, man, and run with it. But it's nothing that we want to keep to ourselves. Like, we want it, if we just the architects of it, we'll take that, man. We'll take it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's I've never heard that before. We always talk about awards and who's MVP, defensive player of the year, most points, stuff like that. But you got something with that one.
Yeah, man.
If I hear it anywhere else, just know I'll give you guys the credit.
Appreciate you, man.
But let's go next question. Is there somebody in your league that you decided or that you've looked at as, okay, this somebody can transition with us? So as in somebody that's played for a long time. I know you're third year, but going down the lines where it's 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. Is there someone you're looking at already that you're saying, okay, he can transition from being the player to helping this grow when I decide I need to pass this off to somebody? Is there somebody you're looking for this early? Or I know that's a tough question, but you gotta.
It was actually two ways I was gonna answer that. If you were talking about, like, basketball wise on the court, I feel like Isaiah Hartley. I feel like he's the guy that's, like, the one that I would push for to, like, be the face of E4T, because I feel like me and him grew up around the same age, so I feel like he's the one that has everything that's, like, clicking at the right time and everything's, like, coming together for him. So I just feel like if he could just take that next step and just say
He's kind of one of the guys who I'm talking about when, like, we have a lot of underrated talent that doesn't get the showcase.
How old is he?
I believe my brother's 29 years old. And, talented, bro. Like, 6'6", guard skills,
Talented.
man. Like, it's ridiculous. And very humble about his talents. And, like, but out here and, what we do it in Cooper, like, he definitely gets to show his showcase. And, I just think he would be one of those that would represent it, far beyond where, when he goes to other tournaments and plays, because I think he could play anywhere in the city, anywhere from Rutgers to West Fourth, anywhere. Like my part me, Rucker Park to fucking West Fourth, part me. Ooh.
Nah, you good, boss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but, you know, I don't know
good.
what type.
My man, he on Dominican Power, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So I think he's one of those guys that, like, you know, as long as he has the name, he's from our project. He plays for the back. You know, one of the guys that, like, hate to say it, Mel, we've won 8 years straight. You know, and he's one of the big reasons why when we started.
Before we started documenting.
Yeah, right. We started probably when he started winning. He was about what 21 now. He's 29. So it's like just his whole 20's just been, you know, showcasing in our projects. But he has grown into a pro now. Like he plays for the New York Underdogs, and definitely like has grown into a hell of a basketball player, man. And I'm very proud to even say like that's my boy. You know what I'm saying?
So when it comes to
Family.
these elite type basketball players that we look at, you know, some parks get their names by certain players coming to their parks, and somebody catches it on camera, goes viral in the hood, and you know, word of mouth, more people come in, and then you know, more resources, connections. I don't want to ask you who you would want to come, but what's your perspective on having the names in the city? Because you know, New York City goes by, you know, clout, sadly, sometimes not always by hard work, but by talent, but sometimes by name. And sometimes those two things don't always mesh. So what is your perspective on getting a guy that can possibly up your name so that everybody in New York City knows who E4T is?
That's kind of one of the goals I was trying to like reach, because I knew like a lot of people that play in my tournament, I've kind of played against them at the college level or even in high school. So now the thing is that they are playing in other leagues. So the thing for me is to like push my tournament and give them the blueprint, and then show them, to let them take it out and give them to their guys so they can show it off to their peoples, and then their peoples can show it off to their peoples.
I think honestly, like I talk to Mel about it all the time. Like it should be really organic, you know. Like genuinely, as the tournament grows and we get bigger each year, like you know, through Instagram and you know how we promote it, like people are gonna see it, and like we have talent here, man. And like if you just give us a chance, you watch our tournaments. We're gonna be on YouTube Live this summer. I think you will be pleasantly surprised by the talents you see out there. And I think if anybody's a competitor in New York City, like, and they love basketball, like, they're going to want to play in this tournament.
Come to the trenches.
They're gonna want to play in this tournament.
So let's speak about the tournament. Give the information. What do the people need to know if any ballers are watching right now? What do they need to know? What information they need so they can join? What squads, you know, entry-wise? Just give off the information for you guys.
Entry fee is $600. Ref fee is $75 a game. 10-man roster, 8-game season plus playoffs and All-Star weekend. But the All-Star game will be at the end of the season, right before playoffs. Playoffs is one and done. Then the championship series is a best of 3. So, and then after that, we usually give out awards.
What are your awards featuring?
MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and the new one that we came up with this year is called the Newcomer Award.
Yes.
Newcomer Award. It's like the Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of new teams that's been coming in, and we want to highlight, you know, the new guys that didn't play in previous tournaments. And if you had a good year and you came out of nowhere, we want to showcase that. So, you know.
Definitely.
So, you know, just to piggyback off what he said, man, like, one of the main things is just come with the love for the game, man. Like, you know, like, it ain't about clout out here. It ain't about nothing. If you love the game, you like to compete, come out here and showcase your talents, man, because there's someone for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you're the best, show it.
We're back. So we're reporting live. Just to continue the conversation, you touched on somebody you guys lost as well. Sadly, another brother in the community, Shavar. Am I pronouncing the name correctly?
Yeah, Shavar Richardson.
Shavar Richardson. We talk about guys we've lost. It's like, I'll get back to what I was asking before, but as we tie it all together, tragedy. Black man with tragedy. Doesn't have to be black men, but since we are all black men, we have to relate. What does tragedy do to the mental, and like how is this tragedy driving you?
Oh man, it's a motivation, I have to say, man. Like, you know, like piggybacking off what Mel did to even start this tournament, man. Like you use it as just try to spin it to a positive, and just, you know, if you can do nothing else but honor them by just giving your full effort, and, you know, never try to forget their names, you know what I'm saying? Like, while we out here, we show them love. Like doing stuff like this, we show them love. Like we'll never forget our brothers. These are people that like I wish instead of just saying their name, you wish they was here.
Yeah, I felt that.
Yeah, it's very tragic to lose, especially we lost Tauren and Envo back to back. And then to look at it, like the way our logo is set up, the picture that we use is them two. Tauren was actually shooting a jump shot over Cheval, contested hand. And I just want to say, to all the people that, you never really know what, your brother or anybody that you're really close to is going through unless they tell you. So my message to you guys is to just reach out to your brothers whenever. Just reach out to them. You never know when this will be their last time, the last time you speak to them, the last time you'll see them. Just reach out to them, tell them you love them, tell them you're there for them. Whenever they need, you can just confide in them.
He couldn't have said it better, bro.
Yeah, so, well, I do appreciate you guys for coming. I'm definitely going to tap into E4T. We'll definitely talk.
Please, man.
We'll definitely talk. You've convinced me that this is a place where people need to be.
Yeah.
And I would definitely like to showcase you guys tournament in the future. We'll definitely talk about that off the lens. But thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank
you for having us, man. Appreciate
Got
it.
me up.
Yeah, man. Yes.
It's another installment, Sway Reporting Live 1-on-1 series featuring E4T. Thank you, Mel and Righteous, for showing out for E4T and letting us know where they are, where we can find them. Stay tuned. Another episode of Sway Reporting Live. Peace.
Your left, too. Your left. Good shit. Good shit.
Oh, my.
Oh my God! Fucking you talking about? You know my name? Everything! Get around this! Don't foul! Ooh, that's tough! That's tough, Zeke! That's tough, Zeke! That's